Alright guys, today I'm going to be replacing the fuel pump and fuel filter on a 2001 Lexus IS300. The fuel pump tank seal is a part number from Denso 9540015, and the fuel pump from Denso is 9500107. Sorry, I can't focus. And then the fuel filter assembly is 0433000 by Beck Arnley. Alright, so you gotta remove these seats. Okay, I already snapped off this side. You gotta pull really hard. I started from this angle and then work my way in, because you gotta release this metal clip from here. So just yank really hard. Feels like you're gonna break it, but you're not. And they're just plastic, so you don't need to over tighten them, obviously. There's the fuel pump. Alright, so don't do what I did and break this top cover off, but luckily you can super glue this cap off, back on. You just press here, this tab, and then pull straight up. But my car is really like 9 years old, so it's hard to take off. Okay, so now we're gonna remove these 8mm screws. Don't use a Phillips because you probably strip it. Just use the 8mm. Yeah, I'm losing daylight here, but basically don't try to lose these screws. If you need to, use a magnet or magnetize your tools so they don't drop in there. But in case you lose a few, just go to the hardware store and get a I think it's an M6 screw. But yeah, it's not a big deal if you lose some. Just make sure you change the seal that comes with the kit. Okay, and obviously this tank's full, so it might be kind of fun to pull this off. Okay, what you want to do is slide this yellow tab out with a flathead screwdriver out that way, and then this should come off here. Okay, so the reason why I couldn't take it off is because this clip has to come completely off that rail, because it's still grabbing a little bit. So if it's still clipped on, like, you know, an eighth of an inch there, it's still grabbing that O-ring. So I almost broke the 90, but now it should come right off. See, super easy. Fuck. So yeah, I might put some epoxy around that 90 to fix the it's not cracked, but we'll put something on there or change it. Take this plate off, set it aside, and then remove. Looks like we're going to use this again, but change the fuel pump that's inside, and I think we're going to keep the sending unit. Put the camera down. Alright, so the tank's actually cleaner than I thought, but you gotta like jiggle the floater that controls the sending unit. You have to like shimmy it around, jiggle it, try not to break the try not to drop the filter bag inside, and the floater, try not to bend this rod, because it's all being held by this hose. So it's at a weird angle, but you just jiggle it and try not to pull it too hard. You can get it out. So yeah, I just use needle nose pliers, You can use an angled plier so it's much easier. See, I'm doing this with one hand. Okay, so the fuel pump and fuel filter is out. There's a lot of locking pieces that you need to be careful with because it's plastic. Let's see, so we can unclip this. No, actually, we'll put that back in. And turn it around to release these clips on the bottom. There you go. This is like the plastic housing for the fuel pump. See? One-handed. No problemo. So, we're supposed to keep this thing nice and clean, but it's a Toyota, they run forever. This thing's full of garbage. But yeah, we'll just pull out the fuel pump now. There's a little rubber piece that goes on the bottom of here to secure the strainer or filter from the pump. So you just take it off, set it aside. Alright, so I got my tripod, and then we're going to try to pry this top section off. See, separate this dark section from this light colored section, and try not to break anything. Oh, what a pain. There we go. It's finally separated. Okay, so we're going to undo this clip and pull. Should be pretty hard because it's been in here for like 10 years. Yeah, that worked. Screwdriver method's easier. Okay, so we're going to reuse this sending unit, floater, clip, and then pull this fuel pump out of its housing. Okay, so old fuel pump is out. Yeah, so same thing, we're going to take this off and reuse it. Got another O-ring here. So we use this, and this is all done. Garbage. And then obviously when you get a part from anywhere, you should check if it's exactly the same. See if there's any differences in material. This one's probably not going to last as long as this one. but we'll see. You can see the paper element inside. You should be wearing gloves when you do this too. So it's kind of weird, my kit didn't come with this little O-ring here. And that was a tight fit, but it's in. All the clips are in. Okay, so that's a little different. This comes with a cap. We're basically going to rebuild or remake this section here with the O-ring kit that they provided us. So it looks like this one goes on first. It's a plastic base that spins. And then big O-ring goes next. And then this one goes next, looks like. Yep, I was right. So first is the tall base, which spins freely, then the O-ring, and then this tightly fit plastic cap. This diameter is a little bit smaller than this one, so it's going to be fun pressing in this into the new fuel pump. Yeah, I basically flipped this upside down, I pressed it on straight, and then it went in. So we're good. Now onto the bottom. There's a clip here. It's kind of like a C clip, but it's an O clip that holds the strainer housing. So you gotta do the same thing here. Remove this cap, and then so yeah, I basically popped that little used C clip off because it goes one way in and then it locks. Now you can remove the strainer. Let's see what else goes here. Yeah, it's the same thing on the new one. Has a little metal clip here on the new bag, strainer bag, and you just press it in. A little tiny feed hole. Little port. I almost thought it didn't come with the C-clip, but it's in here. Really tiny. Make sure you put this one on. Right there. Right in there, and you're going to have to find a socket. 7mm, 6mm socket to press it on. Alright, so what I did is I got this 6mm socket on a screwdriver, 1/4 inch drive, whatever, 3/8, whatever you want to use. But basically press in here, it perfectly fits snug on the O clip, not a C clip, it's an O clip with the 3 prongs. Then you just press in firmly, push down, and now it's seated. Just keeps the bag from coming off. And then make sure you don't damage these. And make sure you give it a few taps, because mine wasn't seated all the way in. Now it's seated all the way in. It's probably super important. Okay, so I pushed in the fuel filter into the housing. Like so. And then it's kind of hard, but you need to put this clip on the fuel pump Okay, so you can do what I did. Let's just feed it through here, and then use your little skinny fingers to press it on here. Try not to pull these wires out, and then lube up the O-ring and push it in. Yep, there you go. Okay, so I guess I'm reusing this whole unit because my kit didn't come with a hose or a new O-ring. So yeah. Snap this on right here. Push this in. And make sure you push this part, the regulator, mini regulator, all the way in, because mine wasn't seated all the way in. I'm kind of having a problem with this fitment of this thing right here, this bottom piece. It's probably because I didn't put this on. Rubber piece back on. O-ring goes here with lube. This goes here like so, and then this goes on. Like so. Fuck. Okay, I found out what was the problem. You need to put this on first. Actually, put this O-ring on first on the retainer side. Put this cap on, and then rotate this to fit in here. This plastic clip. Yeah, this step is super important because this has a clip in here. And then this hose, plastic hose, goes into this base. So that's what it looks like when it's done. Yeah, don't forget to change out this O-ring too. Okay, the old O-ring has a flat side and then like a edge side, like a deep recess side. And the new one that I got has flat on both sides. Alright, so my shitty ass camera is kind of recharged now. So just make sure that you know, this thing's clocked the right way, along with these little plastic pins for the shield. Make sure all the holes align, obviously, but most importantly, make sure this feed's not cracked. Otherwise you get vapors in the cab. It's not cool. Make sure you do this by hand too, because I've seen people strip or break these break this hardware, and it's not fun trying to drill it out. I mean, it's possible, but it's pretty funny when your homie thinks he's a badass with a gun and breaks them. And then obviously you're gonna go in a star pattern. I'm using my hand torque wrench, so ready? Sick. So yeah, star pattern. Get everything nice and tight. Okay, so we're almost tight here. Make sure you use this extension because it can be kind of sharp here, and you can get gas in your blood unless you like that kind of shit. Then go ahead. So yeah, you can torque it to you know, the manufacturer's recommended specs, or you can do what I do and just stretch the bolt a little bit. Yeah, do whatever you want. Okay, so now we're gonna put this fitting back in. Put some epoxy around the fitting if you want, if you've cracked it. Otherwise, you better replace it. And then put this clip back in to prevent it from coming out, like so. And then put this connector back on. So yeah, put the cover back on, and then we'll see if it well, obviously we're going to prime the fuel pump, and then we'll see if it cranks up. Moment of truth. Perfect.